What's going on, everybody? And welcome back to the Fighting's Final here on the It's a Wrap Sports Network with your boy Matty B on the call. And Phillies fall today 7-5 in a game that featured some of the premier pitching in the major leagues. Skubal versus Wheeler kind of definitely did not disappoint. Both pitchers dealing it, man. Both finished the day with 10 strikeouts and the same amount of earned runs, 3. Phillies offense was pretty much stifled there early on, but they woke up late, as sort of that's what been the MO all season, is the offense kind of took about 3/4 of the game to get going. But then in the 7th and the 8th inning, they rattled off 5 runs after spotting Detroit 4. And then honestly, this game to me, it comes down, it's got to come down to the bullpen. And yes, the mismanagement of said bullpen. I don't know how many times we've said this. We've said it a lot. What is Matt Strahm doing pitching in the 8th inning? I don't care if it's 17-0. Matt Strahm does not belong in the 8th inning, and he came out in the 8th and got lit up a little bit. Half an inning, 1 hit, 2 runs, and the big blow, the homer, as Phillies pitching continues to surrender home runs epically in 2025. 125 home runs surrendered now by the Phillies pitching staff this season as a whole, not just the bullpen or the starters, but as a whole. And the late offensive push powered by Castellanos, Harper, and Real Muto. And by the way, if your name wasn't Castellanos, Harper, or Real Muto, then you didn't show up on the stat sheet in a positive way offensively today for the Phillies, because that was pretty much the bulk of the Phillies offense by those 3 individuals. And all that equals to a 7-5 loss. Phillies still have a chance, though, to win the series. They'll give that a whirl tomorrow night on ESPN, as they will be featured in the late game tomorrow night, as it was that late flex game that they got. So Phillies fall 7-5 on alumni weekend. If there's a weekend out there you want to bring your best to bear, that's definitely alumni weekend, when everybody from the past is watching you and they're all judging you. And you come out, and as I said, if your name wasn't Harper, Real Muto, or Castellanos, this wasn't working out for you today for the Phillies. So 7-5 is your final score. Let's get over to the box score. I guess right now we can do that. Let's break this thing down for you by the box score. Phillies, or the Tigers, 7 runs on 12 hits, no errors. Phillies, 5 runs on 8 hits. They did commit an error on the day. And offensively for the Phillies, already went over it. Harper was 3 for 4. 3 for 4. Real Muto, 2 for 4. And Castellanos, 1 for 4. And then you throw in Weston Wilson, his 1 for 2. And that's it, man. That's all the offense for the Phillies today in a 8-hit effort against the Tigers. For Detroit, home runs, Keith, Torres, Carpenter, all 3 of them had home runs. I believe somebody said, I caught this in a sideways note. I didn't watch yesterday's game, so I don't know for sure. But all of Detroit's runs this series have been scored via the home run. That sounds a lot like the Phillies. And that's obviously not a good stat. That's not good for anything. That's not good for any purposes. As the Phillies have, as I mentioned, it's not been a secret that this pitching staff can't keep the ball inside the yard in 2025. Phillies on the day were 3 for 9 with runners. They were 1 for 3 with runners in scoring position. They left 3 runners on base total. No stolen bases. They did not, and they did not hit into any double plays, which is good. For the Tigers today, they were 1 for 4 with runners in scoring position, left 6 on base, and did not score or not steal any bases, as Perez was picked off, or caught stealing, not picked off. Skubal on the day, 7 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs. They were earned 10 hits, and 10 strikeouts and a home run, 98 pitches through 7 innings. Best and Kyle Finnegan, the newest Tiger, come on and kind of hammer down. Finnegan gets to save his 21st of the year. Wheeler, 6 innings, 9 hits, 4 runs. There were 3 of them earned, no walks, 10 strikeouts, but surrendered 3 home runs. There's something going on with the home runs, and I don't think we can ignore it. And only 98 pitches through 6 innings. So yeah, not vintage Wheeler, not by a long stretch, but still, yeah, he did enough. Banks, the ill-fated Matt Strahm, and Romano and Lazar come in a losing effort in a game that you've kind of had a feeling especially when it was 5-0 and the Phillies got it to 5-3. I was thinking, you know what? Yeah, now what? Got a shot here. And then their bullpen and the mismanagement of such bullpen cost them at the end of this game. Phillies pitchers on the day, 12 strikeouts. They have now exceeded 1,000 strikeouts for the season. Phillies are over 1,000 strikeouts by their pitching staff for the 2025 season. So that's a positive stat. Positive. Ricky Deal was watching. Ricky, how are you today? Scoring summary, how it all kind of rolled out. Keith would get it going in the third with a homer to make it 1-0. Then in the third, Carpenter would homer again, make it 2-0. Seventh inning, that was it. No runs till the seventh. Baez would knock a 2-run shot or single. I'm sorry, knocking in Dingle would make it 4-0. Oh yeah, it was a 2-run shot. Yeah. Torres would homer then also in the seventh inning to make it 5-0. But the Phillies would come back. Rio Muto would double in Harper to make it 5-1. The bottom of seventh, Castellanos would then homer, scoring with Muto, making it 5-3. Then Strom was not able to do anything in the eighth as he gave up 2 runs himself, and then Harper would homer in the bottom of the eighth to make it 7-5. But the Phillies couldn't find enough offense at the end to see it through or tie it up or do anything. So Phillies lose today 7-5 and are looking for an attempt to win the series tomorrow. And tomorrow night, I will be back here on the call with you on the Fighting's Final. I have double duty as we're all filling in for Pat. That's right, Pat Bernard's dealing with some technical problems. But I'll be back tomorrow night to wrap up this series after the primetime matchup on ESPN. So I'm looking forward to that, folks. Don't forget, tomorrow morning at 9, be here for the P&M and the AM program. But I think it's the A&M in the program, in the AM tomorrow. It's Pat will not be there. When Pat does return, he is also part of the Attacking Third, which can be seen every Thursday at 9, and the Wraparound, which can be seen every Friday night at 10:30. So make sure you're checking all that out. And especially this show, flagship show, Final Word with Matty B, every Sunday through Thursday, but not tomorrow because I have post-game duty, and it's a 10 o'clock game or a 7 o'clock game, 10 o'clock post-game approximately. I will not be on the air tomorrow with the Final Word, but I'll be back on Monday night, I promise. Let's go to the Broad Street Bottom Line. All right, your Broad Street Bottom Line today, brought to you by the great folks here at the It's a Wrap Sports Network, is the home run. And the live by the home run, die by the home run mantra that this team seems to go by, and it's not necessarily offensively. You know, we always make the assumption that you live and die by the home run. That's your own offense. If you're hitting home runs, you're scoring runs. You're not hitting home runs, you're not scoring runs. And that is absolutely correct. But for this Phillies team, it stretches beyond the Phillies offense. It stretches into their pitching staff too. 4 home runs today surrendered by Phillies pitching, I believe. Was that the total number? I mean, let me verify that. How many home runs the Phillies give up? Yes, they give up 4 home runs. And that is the difference in this ballgame, folks. That is the absolute difference in this ballgame. And they were, some of them were solo shots. Some of them had people on base. You just can't give up home runs. And, you know, it's part of the game. I agree. And it's going to happen. But Phillies pitching this year has been negligently bad at it. Over 125 home runs surrendered now as a pitching staff. And yes, you know, you can predicate yourself on hitting home runs offensively, but you can't predicate yourself on giving up home runs defensively. And the Phillies today lost because of their own mantra of living and dying by the home run. And it spread past the Phillies offense today as they as their pitching continues to give up home runs at a very alarming pace this year. I think they're going to break last year's total easily as before it's all said and done with. And that's a scare coming into October because, you know, nothing sucks the energy out of a postseason game quick enough, or quicker, I should say, than a home run, 2-run, 3-run solo shot, any kind of variety of home run in a game. Phillies got to figure out and got to get that under control. So the home runs today definitely were the difference of the game, and it's been the difference in this series, for God's sakes. All 9 runs the Tigers have scored have come via that home run, and that's alarming, to say the least. So there you go. There's your Broad Street Bottom Line. Live by the home run, die by the home run. It spreads past the offense. It goes into the pitching staff. Now let's head round the bases. All right, let's run the bases on this beautiful Saturday afternoon in August. First games that have gone final: 4-0 Rays over Dodgers. It was 4-3 Orioles over the Cubs, 4-2 Blue Jays over the Royals, 8-2 Brewers over the Nationals. It was 7-3 Red Sox over the Astros, and 5-4 Guardians over the Twins. 2-0 Marlins beat the Yankees. Games that are still happening as we speak. It is the top of the ninth now. 8-5 Rockies over the Pirates. It is 12-4 Mets over the Giants in the top of the ninth, and it is tied up 4-4 heading into the bottom of the 10th between the Rangers and the Mariners. The tonight's game, there's games that have yet to begin. Tonight, 7:15 on Fox, Braves and the Reds will throw down in the MLB Speedway Classic. Hell, that is. Later on tonight in Sacramento, it's the D-backs and the A's, and it will be the White Sox and Angels, as well as the Cardinals and Padres, wrapping up your Saturday night baseball viewing entertainment. And there you have your Round the Bases. Wow, Round the Bases is done. Broad Street Bottom Line is done. Let's head over to the standings as we take a look. It's that time of the year. Starting the American League, it is the Blue Jays 4.5 games ahead of the Red Sox now, as they've now moved percentage points ahead of the Yankees for second place in the AL East. What's happening to the Yankees, man? Not that I'm upset about it. Out in the Central, it's the Guardians 8.5 behind the Tigers for first place, and in the West, it's 3.5 Seattle behind the Texas or the Houston Astros. The Rangers are 5.5 games behind the Astros as well for third place. In the National League, the Phillies, with their loss, I believe, fall into a tie with the Mets currently for first place in the NL East. The Marlins are 7.5 games back, which is interesting, to say the least. Brewers lead the Central by 2 over the Cubs, and that's pretty much a 2-team race. And out in the West, it is the Dodgers up 2.5 games over the Padres. For the wild card at this most current time, in the American League, Boston, New York, and Seattle are your wild card teams. Texas only 2 games back. Cleveland only 2.5 games back. Kansas City 4 games back. Tampa 4.5, and the Angels 5.5. I guess you can consider the Twins, seeing that they were sellers and they sold off their entire team. They're still kind of in this, 7.5 games out of the wild card. In the National League, it's the Cubs, Phillies, and Padres currently as the wild cards. Reds are 3.5 back, and the Giants are 6.5 off the pace as well. So there you go, your most up-to-date standings look in here on this Saturday afternoon. Tomorrow, as I mentioned, the Phillies will be back at it at Citizen Bank Park at 7 o'clock. It is the ESPN game on the hill for the Phillies. Tomorrow night will be Christopher Sanchez. He'll be opposed by Charlie Morton. So make sure you're tuned in for that, because you got to watch it on ESPN. And folks, listen, that's going to wrap me up, man. That's rapid fire fighting's final. Phillies lose 7-5. Skubal versus Wheeler did not disappoint. Wheeler was not vintage Wheeler. He gave up some runs, some home runs, and Skubal did not. So that might have been the difference there in this game. The home run was the difference in this game, as the Phillies pitching surrendered 4 home runs, killing a valiant effort of trying to come back in this game late. And if your name wasn't Harper, Castellanos, or Realmuto, you were offensively inept today for the Phillies, as they lose 7-5. And we'll still have an opportunity tomorrow to go for the series win against the Tigers on ESPN. And hopefully that you'll be back here with me tomorrow night, as I will have you on the call for the Fighting's final. So until we talk again, folks, another loss, man. I think it's my 13th loss as your host. Am I up to 13 losses? I think I'm out of first place currently as the host go. We'll talk again real soon. So you guys take care. Enjoy the rest of your night. Go Phils.